good strategies, persistence, dedication, and input from others. Where focus goes, energy flows. So focus your energy on continuous learning and stop wasting time thinking about looking smart. Build resistance, build vulnerability, build courageousness, and face adversity with a smile. Become comfortable with uncomfortable. You know, the only person that you need to prove anything to is you. Imperfect action trumps perfect inaction. Stop wasting time and get on with it. Failure is part of learning, so start learning by taking action.
Kristian Lavolsi, good morning. It's Thursday. How are you going today?
Well, I finally got some sleep, so I'm definitely feeling a little bit more recharged. I'm still trying to deal with this sinus thing that so many people have got. I'm week 3, so as we know, Kristian can live on 3 hours sleep and not 5, 6 hours in a row. I finally got that magic 7, so today should be a great day.
It will be a great day. It will be. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm really excited about this new segment we have created, putting you in the hot seat. And the reason why we wanted to do this is we wanted to really demonstrate one of our values of care. And how we wanted to do that was by demonstrating that we're not putting out content just for the sake of putting out content across our socials. We actually care what people need help with and how they need that. And we're here to really offer some guidance and support through that to show everyone your genius and expertise in these areas. So we are highlighting the results from our polls that we're using from the previous week. And we're going to really just leverage off some of your expertise to find out how we can really help people in the moment.
Awesome. And one thing I want to say, it's really encouraging to see people dropping their comments. We are live, so we can only see certain things on our board that are coming through. But Sandy and Laurie's from Kansas, and Sandy's actually in our mastermind. So it's really cool to see you, Sandy, today. And hopefully we'll be answering these questions right now. So Simone, let's start, right? Because you got the timer ready. I think I mastered the art of this timer, so I might beat you today. So let's see how we go.
I know. I don't like the idea that you can just watch the clock. I really thought I was going to catch you out on this, but you're always one step ahead, Kristian Lavolsi, aren't you?
Well, it's always that philosophy of failing forward. If you fail at something more than once, you might want to check up and see how you can avoid that. So yeah, absolutely. I'm always trying to be ahead. I did, by the way, I did like the sound of you saying the word genius and my name at the same time. It really had a good ring. I thought to myself, I should get that like replayed, whenever I'm having an average day, and no, but thank you. It was too kind. And we all know that it's not really that true. It's more, there's lots of experience there, and hopefully that's what we're going to share with everyone today.
Yes. Yeah. I love it. I love it. And what we're addressing is the poll we put up last week, which was, are you stuck in your business or do you work on your business? So the actual questions that we put in there was stuck big time, which 14% of people who voted in our poll said that they were stuck. 67% of people said that they had a good balance. 17% said that they solely work on their business. And we had 3% that said that they need help now. So my first question to you, and I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock, is what is the difference between working on your business and working in your business?
Well, let me be very clear before I actually answer that question. The difference between success and failure is working on your business versus working in it. And I think that's really important. So, the difference between success and failure is working on your business versus working in it. And you can interpret that how you want, but it's pretty straightforward. So now let me answer that. So working in your business actually refers to those day-to-day activities that could be easily entrusted to someone else. Working on your business, on the other hand, is all about developing those growth strategies through activities such as plan setting, process automation. So, as a small business owner or as a consultant or as an advisor, really, I often hear people say, if you want something done right, do it yourself. And it's interesting. I call bullshit on that, and I used to say that to myself. And this is the experience that I have, having had 79 ventures now, an 80th about to start. So you get better. And I always say to people, I failed more than I succeeded. Yet I use that line, but I haven't failed for quite a long time. And the advantage is why? Because you get better every time at it. But when you run a business, and I feel you have absolutely no option but to take a mountain of tasks. However, taking on too much work is in your business can actually prove to be the major distraction from the important jobs of growing your business. And that's what we do as growth advisors. So to thrive in a competitive market, which we're in now, particularly a labor market, businesses, any business, small or large, needs visionary leadership. We need big picture thinking. And we also need a solid strategy with top line innovation. And I'm pretty sure that's your 2 minutes.
It is. Yes.
Ah!
I'm not liking this that you're dead on all the time. Yeah.
Oh.
And I think especially reflection of myself with business, it's really came down to just the perfectionism of thinking that I was the only one that could do all the tasks. And, that was an experience for me to learn through my leadership that if you teach and train people, then you can let go and not feel that you have to do all of it.
I think that you really summed it up beautifully. And you know what my ethos is in our companies is we are a training organization. Okay, so it's not just about working with our clients and teaching them, but in our own companies, my companies that are ours, whether it's the media company, whether it's the outsourcing business, whether it's our fuel and energy company, right? It's all about we're a training institution. We train our people. We invest heavily on training, which is really, really important, particularly during these times.
Yes, I love that. All right, let's move into our second question. So question 2, is there a certain percentage that you should spend on or in your business as the owner?
How long is a piece of string, right? There is actually. I say that, but with tongue in cheek, there is actually evidence around this that leaders need to spend at least at a minimum 20% of their time working on their business. And this will provide the necessary time for you to focus on that strategic thinking. Last question, strategic thinking. Anyone, you can go and replay that in YouTube, I think it might be, or even in our group, The Extraordinary Life. And if you're not a member and you're listening to it, just type in Extraordinary Life in Facebook, and you'll be able to join the group. We have these sessions in there as replays, and I think that's really important. Smart leaders learn how to delegate non-critical tasks. Okay, now let me just repeat that for you. Smart leaders, Simone, smart leaders, they learn how to delegate non-critical tasks. Really important. Now, what are some of the things that you can delegate? Well, client meetings, answering queries, paying invoices, invoicing clients, right? Like if you're doing that as a small business owner, palm that shit off, right? Now, things that you must work on in your business. Hey, Blake, right? Things that must be is planning for the future, education, setting goals, working towards all your priorities, automating processes, but also talking with advisors. Okay. So they're the things you can do. By the way, that's our little co-host, Blake. Right? He's the coolest. Yeah, just so anyone that's watching this, Blake, when he hears my voice on any call at any time that I am on the phone with someone, he walks in the room no matter what he's doing.
It's
right?
true.
And he's the cutest ever. It's like it's on cue. And poor Simone, I could see you going, okay, Blake, you've just walked in on a live. But anyone that knows me, right, guys, I love my family. Family in our organization people are first. Yeah, no, I already saw the timer was finished.
I love
But I think what's really important to understand is, is the values of an organization, right? So even with Blake coming in, then to us, there's no distraction. It's part of our lives. I mean, business owners, right, folks, business owners, set your priority. Because I can tell you, the person who's lost a handful of businesses in their time, and I didn't have a family then, but I'd give up my businesses any day for my family. To me, that's not even a sacrifice; it's a thing. All right. So anyway, I hope I answered that question. Because that one I know the answer to like really, really well.
Yeah. And I think it's really important to sit back as a business owner and realize what the different tasks are when you're working on your business or in your business, and really taking that time to reflect. And that's, as you're teaching us inside business growth mindset through our Evolve program and to us individually, it is knowing those benchmarks when you hit them and when you're hitting that level of growth and where those tasks need to drop off. And then you keep moving forward so you can continue to scale and grow, which is really exciting.
Can I just jump in quickly? Someone's just written multitasking is key for any entrepreneur. Now, look, that's without deterring, yes, a lot of people think that multitasking is the be and end all. Unfortunately, there is a lot of research, a lot of academic research now coming out that multitasking is actually an evil, right? Priority, you've got to actually diary block, because what happens is we get really distracted. So multitasking is something you do when you start a business, but when you start growing, you've actually got to start having things in chunks and in blocks, because the concentrating effort, right, is what's going to help you achieve that. And absolutely, learning to delegate is that's the skill. Okay. And wanting to let go, stop being a control freak. I've been there. And even now with a big team, with 80, 90 staff, whatever we've got across the group, and that's not including our clients, when we bundle up all the boards that I sit on and that I chair, it's thousands of employees. So this is the conversation we talk a lot about. So, it's really powerful. But yeah, absolutely, guys, this is quite amazing. All right. You got one more question. I know I'm hijacking the time here.
One more. Yes. Okay, so question 3. How do you shift your focus and priorities so you can work on your business? So this is specific to people that are feeling like they're not doing the above the line type tasks. They're doing all the function type things within their business.
All right, so let me start with this. As a leader, forget as a business owner, as a leader, you always should be open, curious, and committed to learning. Okay. So let me tell you that immediately. And if you're listening to this live right now and you've stayed with us and you've been committed to listening to it, here's the gold. Okay. And this is not rocket science. Okay. What I'm about to share with you. There's 2 things you need to do. One is you need to focus on SMART goals, right? SMART goals really are a secret weapon. And I use the word secret because everyone knows they need to, but they don't do them, right? So it's kind of this what the, and there was the beep. I have refrained from swearing. This is phenomenal, right? But the thing is, what you need to do is start by identifying just a few goals, okay? Then you need to break them down, okay, into priorities. Then what you need to do is you need to measure your progress, right? Everyone talks about KPIs, but no one actually ever has any, which is, again, why, right? Keep yourself accountable, right? And if you are unable to keep yourself accountable, hire an accountability coach, okay? Holly Smith, one of our clients, it's a gun, right? And that's what she does. She's gone from fitness to accountability. It's a pivot that we did in her business, and she's excellent, right? And I highly recommend Holly for that, right? Or join our mastermind and be held accountable by a whole bunch of people. But the other thing is 5, cut out those distractions, right? Really cut them out. How long have I got left?
25 seconds.
Okay, just quickly then. Then when we talk about priorities, right? What you want to do is you want to identify what does not deserve your attention, okay? And again, you got to cut out those distractions, right? And here it is. You got to stop the multitasking, right? What you got to do is got to get really focused and really organized.
Love it. Time blocking for the win is what I call it. Time blocking. I love those activities. Yes. Right on time.
There's the buzzer. Yeah.
You're too good at this game.
I love it because it's also teaching me to be really concise with my responses. So it's right. Okay. You know, I
Yeah.
love storytelling, so it's kind of like I can go on a drifted pathway. But I'm also aware that I've got to be on another client call in a couple of minutes, so that's also very good.
Yes.
What?
I love that. Yeah. And we just had some quick, I just wanted to read out 2 comments, that we had from our poll last week. One was from Rena that said, success comes easy when everything in business and life is in balance and harmony. Awesome. She voted in the poll as well. And one from George Markowski as well that said, great poll, Kristian. To avoid becoming overburdened with all the tasks you have to complete, it's crucial that you know how to organize. So I thought that was a really important point as well. Just understanding where you are at, taking a moment to reflect on everything and setting up that plan forward.
Yeah, excellent. Look, I think ultimately, we've got someone who's saying they disagree on multitasking. Hey, look, it's just one opinion, right? Like my opinion, your opinion. But as I said, what I will do though, for that, is I'm going to pull up the research that Harvard did on multitasking, and there's some really good gold in there, and I think Stanford recently did one too. So we might, Simone, if you can just find that in our resource folder, we'll
Sure.
we might be able to share it and do a post, or also send it to whoever's commenting on that, because I can't see names. But I think that's really important. I'm a big believer in having multiple perspectives. Okay, so that's my philosophy all the time, and that's what I said to you earlier. The big takeaway from today is you always have to be curious, all right, and prepared to to be open and committed to learning, right? So that's so important. At the end of the day, that's the way it is. All right, so we're done.
We are.
All right.
We are. Kristian Lavolsi, thank you for your time and your wisdom as always. So many takeaways from those 3 questions. I look forward to joining you next week. We're really excited. We've got our mastermind tomorrow, our monthly mastermind. So we will see all of our clients online for our mastermind tomorrow. And if anyone has any questions about what we do and how we help our clients, please feel free to reach out to us. So have an awesome day, and we'll see you again in the hot seat next Thursday.
See you guys.